All right, we have a treat for you today. Joining us for a PSN exclusive is Philadelphia Phillies prospect Andrew Schultz. Andrew, thank you for hopping on.
Of course, man. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
How you feeling?
I feel really good, man. Coming back, it's been a while since I've played with the Tommy John and the COVID year and everything like that, but I'm pumped to get in some games and just to get in that flow of the season.
Yeah, so your shoulder's feeling all right?
Oh yeah, it was actually my elbow, but
Okay.
it feels like I'm 15 again. You know what I mean? Like whole new arm now. It's awesome. I think it was kind of nagging at me for a little bit, and I'm glad it's all done and kind of put behind me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good to hear. I got to ask you first, just knowing that you're an Atlanta guy who went to play school at Tennessee, and now you're living in South Jersey. What's been the biggest culture shock for you going from the South to the North?
Yeah. Honestly, first thing for sure, the weather, the cold weather, and I definitely don't agree with it, but it's part of the game. You just got to bundle up, and once you really get moving out there and the adrenaline starts flowing, it's really not too bad. But I'm not a cold weather guy, especially sitting down in the bullpen during the game. I'm always layered up.
Yeah. So are you a pitcher that runs the bases with the starter jacket?
Oh, if it's allowed that day, it's on for sure.
That's awesome. So I know you just spent some time down in Florida. You guys just got back into Lakewood camp the past couple of days here. What was it like being down there? I'm always curious in terms of the separation between you guys and like some of the older veteran players, how much mixing you do with those guys, and if anyone in particular maybe rubbed off on you in the time that you spent in Florida.
Yeah. So I was lucky enough. They invited me to come down a little earlier to mini camp. So I got to kind of train with some of the big league staff. So like Brian Kaplan, Cotham, our pitching coach, the big league pitching coach, and just getting to work with them and them watching me day to day. And just like, I've got like a whole list of things that I've written down of just like tidbits of like knowledge that like, if I didn't write it all down, I was definitely going to forget it. It's like every day you see somebody else who, he's done this and worked with this guy and done all this crazy stuff. So it's just, you get so much different stuff from so many different people that it's a little overwhelming, but in a good way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I got to go do one of the big league backup games as well, and got to pitch in one of the major league games. That was an awesome experience. You kind of get like treated like a big leaguer for the day. So that was pretty cool.
No, it's awesome. When you're in those bullpens with those guys, is there any, just from looking around, are there any current Phillies that you think model your game?
I definitely think we've got a lot of relievers some hard throwing relievers that, especially righties too, which I'm excited for the year. I think our bullpen's going to surprise some people. Some of the stuff, we got some guys coming back too. I was in rehab. I wouldn't say we necessarily model each other, but I guess our pitches are kind of the same a little bit. He's left-handed, Jojo Romero. I love watching him throw, and the way when he was at rehab last year, just his work ethic every day. He's really committed to that grind, and it shows. And he's crazy, with the Red Bull can and everything. He's awesome. He's man.
Yeah, I kind of buried the lead here. You can touch 100 miles an hour. So with the surgery and everything, how are you feeling with that right now? Where's the velocity at?
I felt really good, man. So last fall, they let me throw in instructs for 5 innings, and that was awesome. Kind of a game experience again. I was up to 97 there, and actually 97, 99 in the last game. But since the spring started, I've been sitting around like 97, 98. And yeah, I'm really comfortable with it. We're still kind of making tweaks, going through spring training. It's a little bit of that getting back into the serious games. It's different throwing a bullpen always than you get out to the real mound and things are going fast and you're pumped up. So, tweaking stuff. I feel really good. The last probably 2 weeks, my arm, elbow, everything has just kind of settled down and kind of gotten that flow of pitch, take a day, maybe 2, pitch, take a day, maybe 2. So that's the main thing that I'm happy about. Just the recovery's back to where it was before.
I got you. Yeah, from my scouting reports that I put together pre-interview, it looks like you're working with about 3 pitches right now. I don't know if you want to talk to how you feel there, if that's what you're comfortable with, or if you're looking in 2022 to potentially add something further to that. But I'll let you go.
I'd say the fastball and slider really since surgery have both kind of cleaned up analytically, kind of pitch profile, I guess, are a little bit different than they were before. So I'm definitely excited about that, getting to compete with that. The changeup has been the biggest thing. That's what I was talking about the last 2, maybe 3 weeks has really come together. And I think it's going to be a solid offering for me, which even if I only throw it, 10, 50% of the time, it's still an offering that someone else has to think about like it's a good pitch. So they can't really sit as much on one of those two.
Yeah, for sure. I guess so. With that in mind, would you? I'm sure you have the confidence. You're an athlete and you're playing at the professional level. But would you profile yourself as a major league closer?
Man, I think I absolutely could do it if I needed to one day. But I will go out there and pitch whenever they need me to. I really don't mind anywhere in the game. I just like getting in there.
Yeah, no, it's great. So I guess I got to ask you too, if you just seeing what the major league club has done with some of these larger signings over the past month or so, where do you see that team going? And do you think they're going to be good enough to take down the Mets and the Braves?
Oh, I really do. The lineup this year is awesome. I mean, the game that I went and played in, Schwarber played in that game as well, and that was pretty cool getting to see him walk around, just get ready for his day, hit BP and stuff like that. But I really like the stuff that they've done so far, and I don't, who knows if they're done or not, but I'm looking forward to the season. I think we're going to shock a lot of people.
Yeah. Are you guys intermingling with those guys a lot too? Like, is the bullpen off on an island back there, and you talk to the hitters once or twice a week, but everyone's kind of boys.
Yeah, it's well, once things really get going, there's so many of us that they kind of have to put you in groups and stagger the times. Otherwise, it's so many people, and it's tough to get a weight room for 120. But with the big league guys, kind of stick to their side because they have everything they need over there. They'll come and hit in our cages and stuff like that. But it's definitely a good vibe. It's not like people segregated like that. You know what I mean? Everyone's kind of intermingling through the day, walking around. You'll see people everywhere.
No, that's great. I made it down once for a spring game. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah. It is a lot of fun. It's a good environment too. I really like that stadium that they have.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm familiar with the Clearwater nightlife as well. I'm not sure how often you guys are getting out, but
there's plenty of stuff to do around there.
Yeah, we can leave it at that. All right. So you're back in Atlanta, and you're walking into Big Sky on a Saturday night, and Tim Glavine's sitting there. Tom Glavine. Wow. It took me that long to make a mistake.
I knew you, man.
Tom Glavine's sitting there. He calls you over and says, "What do you do better than I do?" What would be your response to that?
Jeez. I'd like to say that I put as much work and as much effort into it as he does, but that's a great right there you're talking about. I think that I'm really confident in just my like raw stuff, and I think that I've got the ability to beat anybody at the plate on any given day. So I think that's something that I always kind of say is my biggest strength in a sense.
Yeah, for sure. It's got to be terrifying watching 100 miles an hour come at you. I can't even imagine. I ducked out in T-ball.
Me either. That's why I don't hit anymore.
Yeah,
got way too fast.
Seriously. Is there anything else you want to hit before we move on to the aforementioned rapid fire round?
No, I think I'm good, man. That's good.
Definitely. All right. Real easy. I'm not trying to trick you. So just throw it out there. I'll give you a few seconds. Right. Favorite professional athlete?
Okay. Kind of in the lieu of the Masters coming up, I'm a really big Tiger Woods fan. Yeah.
There you go.
Have been for a really long time. I have been. I think his whole story is awesome.
No, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Tiger's a good one. Excited for this weekend. Favorite memory from college ball?
Oof. Okay, I would have to say probably the regional my junior year, because I mean we struggled my freshman, sophomore year, but like I could tell we were kind of climbing that ladder. So it was really nice kind of that last year to see everything come to fruition, all that work that we had put in, and just go into UNC. It was an awesome atmosphere being in a regional like that. I mean, we didn't win, but it was definitely the highlight probably of my college career.
Yeah, that's great. Which superhero would you be if you could be a superhero?
I would definitely be a Spider-Man guy. I'm a pretty big Marvel fan. Love those Avenger movies and all that. So definitely Spider-Man.
All right. But this might be a Marvel answer too, but best movie or TV show you've watched recently?
Probably, I would have to say I've seen it a couple times, but I've been rewatching is Game of Thrones. I think that whole series is just incredibly done.
That's an easy rewatch too. You forget, I mean,
oh yeah,
how many names you have to keep track of.
They're so long. Yeah, exactly.
It's going back, you could spend a full weekend getting through 3 seasons of that show.
100%.
All right. And last one, are you a Braves fan?
You put me in a tough spot here, but they've definitely got number 2, if not number 1. But yeah, just growing up there, man, I went to games all the time as a kid, and that was kind of always like my first like baseball experience was anything Braves. So I've got definitely a little spot in the heart for them for sure.
Yeah, we'll shake it out of you.
It'll be gone.
Andrew, thank you for coming in and doing this. Really means a lot. Looking forward to seeing you progress throughout your career, and hopefully we see you in Philly sooner rather than later.
Yeah, awesome. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.